Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GTPL Hathway Q4 and FY23 earnings conference call, hosted by Emkay Global Financial Services. We have with us today Mr. Anirudh Sinha Jadeja, Promoter and Managing Director, Mr. Piyush Pankaj, Business Head CATV and Chief Strategy Officer, and Mr. Anil Bothra, Chief Financial Officer. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Pulkit Chawla from Emkay Global Financial Services. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dorfin. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the GTPL Hathway earnings call. I would like to welcome the management and thank them for this opportunity. Without any further delay, I shall now hand over the call to the management for their opening remarks. Over to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Pulkit. Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to everybody to the conference call of GTPL Hathway to discuss Q4 and annual FY23 financial performance. I'm glad to report yet another year of consistent growth in our broadband and digital cable TV business. GTPL to continue largest MSO in the country as well as in Gujarat and largest broadband player in Gujarat. The company has further strengthened its presence across all other markets, especially in southern state. I'm pleased to inform you that the board has recommended a dividend of rupees 4 per equity share for FY 2023. Both our digital cable TV and broadband business continue to show healthy growth across India in terms of subscriber and ARPU. I will now hand over to the call Mr. Piyush Pankaj, who will take you through the business and financial performance of the company.
Thank you, Mr. Jadeja. Good evening, everyone. I am pleased to announce the business and financial performance of GTPL Hathway. Our digital cable TV subscriber base as on 31st March 2023 stands at 8.95 million. Paying subscribers stand at 8.20 million. On a YOY basis, the increase in active and paying subscribers is 550K and 400K respectively. In the broadband business, we have added 104K new subscribers, an increase of 11% on a YOY basis. Home pass subscribers stood at 5.30 million as on 31st March 2023, of which 75% are available for FTTX conversion. The broadband ARPU for FY23 stood at rupees 460, an increase of rupees 10 on a YOY basis. The average data consumption per customer per month stood at 321 GB, a 25% increase YOY. On a consolidated level, excluding EPC contract, in FY23, revenue grew by 12% YOY to rupees 27,140 million. The digital cable TV subscription revenue stood at rupees 11,005 million, up by 2% YOY. We saw a consistent growth in our broadband segment. Broadband revenue increased by 18% YOY and revenue stood at rupees 4,826 million. This was driven by a healthy subscriber addition. Consolidated EBITDA for FY23 stood at rupees 5,163 million with a margin of 19%. PAT for FY23 stood at rupees 1,145 million. We are a net debt-free company and our finance cost has reduced by 31% on YOY basis for FY23. For Q4 FY23, on a consolidated level, excluding EPC contract, revenue grew by 13% YOY to rupees 7,017 million. The digital cable TV subscription revenue stood at rupees 2,753 million, up by 2% YOY. We saw a consistent growth in our broadband segment in Q4 FY23. Broadband revenue increased by 14% YOY and revenue stood at rupees 1,246 million. PAT for the quarter stood at rupees negative 124 million. There was a drop in the PAT on account of the following reasons. An exceptional item of rupees 189 million provided in Q4 FY23 with respect to the provision of certain identified old receivables on account of assessment of counterparty credit risk. Second, increase in depreciation amortization of FY23 by rupees 220 million on account of reassessment of useful life of select asset class and obsolescence of certain asset class due to technology upgradation. The standalone revenue, excluding EPC for FY23, stood at rupees 17,328 million, an increase of 14% YOY. EBITDA stood at rupees 2,842 million with an EBITDA margin of 16.4%. PAT for FY23 stood at rupees 725 million. This is all from my side. Thank you, everyone. We can now begin with the question and answer session.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Yash Sarda from Sushil Finance. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. My first question is, how is the response from the GTPL Genie which was launched in December? And if you could give a number as to how many customers from our existing broadband customers have opted for the plan. Second question is, what is the anticipated increase in data consumption in the quarter which is coming, or what you are seeing due to the IPL which is being seen online? And last question is, how many customers, or what is the conversion which we are seeing happening from the cable TV subscribers to broadband due to OTT happening and the online streaming of IPL? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have launched Genie Plus in end of December. The main responses have started coming from January month. And till date, we have seen that around 12,000 subscriber base has taken these services in last 3 months. And out of that 12,000, we can say that around 8,000 is from the broadband side and around 4,000 is of the cable subscribers. The second question on the IPL, we have not seen any effect because of having free in Jio Cinema. That it has affected is our subscription reduction or our subscriber reduction due to the IPL. So the effect is almost nil on that side, I will say. And third question was on Genie, that how many subscribers have shifted from or broadband to cable or cable to broadband. The cross-selling is happening, and because Genie we have launched as a stand-alone product, so that is not giving us Genie Plus as a stand-alone product, where our broadband subscriber or our cable subscriber can take it as a stand-alone product, and it's a B2C product. So because of Genie, we are not seeing that the conversions and all. Yes, we are hopeful that as we are going to launch the combined bundle services, which we are going to do in Q1, entertainment plus broadband together, and entertainment includes OTT plus cable. That's we are going to look after. That will give us a good programs in the market.
Thank you. I just had one follow-up question. You mentioned that there has been a blackout in the month of February for, I think, 6 odd days. Could you just elaborate on that? And the task force, what I understand is not a part of the package which you currently offer. It is on a la carte, if I'm not wrong. So how that is working out? Just 2 questions follow-up. Thank you.
So basically, it was not a blackout. It's what all 3 broadcasters ने effective date 18th of February to 23rd of February तक 3 broadcasters के content switch off किए थे इन्होंने, especially because of the NTO का protest हुआ था उसकी वजह से, and the issue is resolved and everything is now normalized.
Okay. And just confirming, is task force being offered as an a la carte or already bundled with?
No, it's a part of the bundle. We are not offering any other.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aniket from BMSPL. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Sir, you're not loud enough, so we are not able to hear you clearly.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon and thank you for having me. My question was a bit longer term regarding the broadband business ARPU. So, with the effect of all the OTT providers coming in, such as Reliance, and having their own units, what do you feel is going to happen to your ARPUs for the coming 2-3 years? I just wanted to get a broad picture.
ARPU. If you see from last 2 years, our ARPU, which was at around 400 rupees, we have gone up to 460 rupees in last 2 years' time. We are looking forward that we will continue that journey, that 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 20 rupees increase per annum. And that is because we are converting everyone into the FTTX technology and pushing our subscriber to take the higher packages of 100 Mbps, 150 Mbps, 200 Mbps. And that's the strategy on which we are working. Yeah, if you ask me, I'm not increasing the rate of my packages, but I am moving my lower packages customer to higher packages customer, and that's why the benefit is coming in our ARPU. And we look forward that we are going to continue that. That's the strategy, and we are looking forward that we will continue to increase the ARPU as we are increasing from last 2 years.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone phones at this time. We have the next question from the line of Karan Mehta from Nizar Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Karan, you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So I just have a couple of questions. So firstly, we have seen an increase in pay channel cost on an annual basis. So I just wanted to understand, is this of recurring nature? And if so, what would be the percentage increase in pay channel cost per year for next 2 to 3 years? And also, what's the outlook on both of our businesses?
Hi, Karan. Karan, we always advise the analysts to look pay channel along with the marketing and placement revenues. If we do the net pay channel cost on that basis, pay channel expenses minus revenue, it's hardly you will see that there is 2% increase in the pay channel, hardly 9 to 10 crores, which is there. So, if you see over the year, for the whole year, the subscription is contributing around 25 to 27 crores, and out of that, pay channel is just increasing 9 to 10 crores. So that's the trend we are looking forward, that the pay channel will be on 2%, 3% increase, not more than that on the net basis over the years.
Okay. That was helpful. And sir, also, what's the incremental cost and depreciation cost per subscriber for both of our businesses? And what's the replacement cycle for our fixed assets in both of our businesses?
So fixed asset, if we talk about, we are depreciating our STBs in 8 years' time, and the routers as at 10 years' time. 8 to 10 years in the routers of the different make. So that's adding on the depreciation side. So when you talk about the replacements and all, yes, it takes 8 to 10 years for the replacing any assets, because there are robust assets which are continuing. Still the boxes which we have deployed in 2011, 2012 is still continuing in our system. And same with the if you talk about what routers we have put in 2016, 2017, which is still going robustly in our system.
Sir, and the first question, the incremental cost and depreciation cost for both of our businesses. Incremental cost for per subscriber for both of our businesses.
So per subscriber incremental cost, if you talk about, if I am adding one subscriber base and I am getting around 125 rupees from that, on that if we talk about that, just the incremental operating cost, which is net of my direct cost, which is pay channel and all, which is coming to around 30 rupees, not more than that.
Okay, the cost is just 30 rupees per subscriber. So that is for CATV?
That is for the CATV.
And broadband?
Broadband also it is around, broadband is lesser because the main cost there is going on into two direct costs, which is the bandwidth cost and my customer acquisition cost, which is the higher, which is more of. So there it is coming to around 25 to 30 rupees extra operating cost, admin and operating cost.
Okay, and what is the depreciation cost per subscriber?
Depreciation per subscriber, you can talk about around 90 rupees in the cable side, and in the broadband side, it is coming to around it is coming to around 60 to 70 rupees in the broadband side.
Okay. Sir, if I can squeeze in one more question. So what's the acquisition cost per subscriber? Sir, we had a discussion over the implementation of NTO 3.0. We expect that this may result in shutting down of some smaller LCOs and MSOs, which will in turn give us an opportunity to acquire these. So I just wanted to understand what the acquisition cost per subscriber for these MSOs and LCOs.
The acquisition cost, I will just say that it depends on a lot of things, that in which market we are operating, what are the different aspects of those network technology-wise, where it is in the rural area or outskirts of city, whether it is in the main city, all those factors come.
So basically, it's which territories also, like in the HSM market, say, so different acquisition price, South market is a different price, whether it is area is phase 1, whether it is area is phase 2, whether it is area is phase 3 or phase 4. So it depends on the territory wise, there is a price differences there.
Okay. But if you can just if you can give a broad range for our major markets.
Majorly, if you see the overall our major market, like almost 60 to 65% is our HSM markets, majorly market, and it's close to around 30% is like South market.
So acquisition price depends on the network and all those things. whether it is in the north, if a network is in Delhi and a network is in the Kanpur, or if it is a network in the Gorakhpur, if it is a network in the Muzaffarpur, the rates or conditions are going to be different. So it's very difficult to give you one figure on that way, because it depends on different factors, and that's the way. Karan, we can go offline on this, that how we come into the acquisitions and all those things, and how we determine the prices on acquisitions.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. And thanks a lot for all these clarifications. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pawan Nahar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, Pawan, you are not audible.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, Pawan, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So I wanted to understand, we've done a capex of around 470 crores in FY23. What is the plan for 24? Any particular number?
Yeah, so capex, we did 468.5 crores in FY23. Out of that, broadband capex is around 225 crore. The rest is the CATV capex. As we are saying throughout in the call, that we are keeping around 450 to 500 crores, and we are looking forward in next 3 years, we are going to do 1,400 crores of investment. So we are still sticking to that depending upon the opportunity, we will be keeping around 450 to 500 crores of capex, which is going to be 50% in each of the business.
So every year, 450 to 500 crores beginning FY23.
That's right. So next 3 years, 1,400 to 1,500 crores.
So that is number one. Number two, now what I'm struggling to understand is your absolute EBITDA. I don't want to focus on depreciation, because let's eliminate the, we could look at that as well. So the EBITDA is like what it was in FY20. So it's a short. We've done such a big investment, right? Our gross block or whatever, whichever way you look. In the last 2 years, we've spent about 800 crores. FY22 and FY23. And our absolute EBITDA, right, is down by almost 10-15%.
9% around, yes.
Yeah, so I'm unable to understand that till FY22, every dollar that you were investing was yielding good returns. Certainly in the last 12 months particularly, there's just a collapse. So I don't want to get into the detail of the CATV and cable. All I want is आपने इतना डॉलर इतना रुपया लगाया और उससे कितना EBITDA बन रहा है, वो तो पूरा ही उल्टा हो गया अभी गणित.
नहीं, आप ऐसे देखिए, उल्टा नहीं हुआ है. जो आपकी EBITDA डाउन हुई है, उसमें एक बड़ा फैक्टर है जो एक्टिवेशन रेवेन्यू वी हैव लॉस्ट अराउंड 30 करोड़. ये एक्टिवेशन रेवेन्यू था, वो डिफर्ड है. दैट इज अ नॉन कैश आइटम. कैश बेसिस पे आप देखिए तो हम वही हैं और हम ग्रो हो रहे हैं. जहाँ पे आप कैश बेसिस की बात कीजिएगा, तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट 130 करोड़ वी हैव गॉन आउट देयर. सेकंड, दिस फोर्थ क्वार्टर, यस, we have lost around 10 to 12 crores because of the blackout which we explained. उसके कारण एक 10-12 करोड़ का हमें इम्पैक्ट आया है, जो we were expecting कि वो नहीं आना चाहिए था, बट वो आया है, which you will see that jump in the quarter one. यदि वो फैक्टर्स आप हटाइएगा, सेकंड थर्ड आप देखिएगा कि एक EPC प्रोजेक्ट हमारा चल रहा था which was contributing in EBITDA and revenue both sides.
That was FY21, right? FY22 में तो कुछ नहीं है ना अंदाज.
FY22 में अराउंड 3 to 4 करोड़ था हमारे.
हाँ तो वो छोड़ देते हैं ना, वो तो राउंडिंग ऑफ एरर हो गया, तो मतलब 530 करोड़ का. हाँ
हाँ, तो वो एक EPC प्रोजेक्ट का था जो हमारा चलाया है.
नहीं, so I just want to, Mr. Jadeja, just say at this point, 530 has become 465 or 470 rounders, right? Yeah. And हमने 450 करोड़ इन्वेस्टमेंट किया, इनफैक्ट अ लिटिल मोर, एंड हम उतना ही और हर साल करेंगे नेक्स्ट 2 years के लिए, राइट? सो व्हाट, अगर हम 100 रुपया इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, जनरली व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ एबिटा और आरओसी, आप इंटरनली क्या, कैसे जज, मतलब कैसे इवैल्यूएट करते हैं, क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं?
बेसिकली ये इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोपोर्शनेटली क्वार्टर एंड क्वार्टर फॉर्मेट में होना चाहिए था, लेकिन लास्ट FY20 to 23 1 और Q2 में पूरा इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं हो पाया. वहां पे जब कैपेक्स प्रोपोर्शनेटली, अगर आप Q3 और Q4 का कैपेक्स अगर देखें तो मेजर क्वार्टर कैपेक्स 70% Q3 और Q4 में गया हुआ है, जिसका 2 ही क्वार्टर का हमें आउटकम मिला हुआ है. अगर आप इसको पूरे अगले साल में देखेंगे तो वो पूरे साल का आउटकम आएगा. Q1
अभी तक तो नेगेटिव है ना, एबिटा में तो आउटकम अभी तक नेगेटिव है.
हाँ, बट उसका आउटकम Q1 और Q2 में पूरे साल का मिलेगा. जो अगर आप सब्सक्रिप्शन अगर देखा जाए तो इट्स क्लोज टू अराउंड 30, स्टैंड अलोन में अगर आप देखें तो इट्स क्लोज टू अराउंड 30 करोड़ है. कंसोलिडेटेड अगर आप देखेंगे तो इट्स क्लोज टू अराउंड 22-23 करोड़ है, जो पूरे अगले क्वार्टर, पूरे चारों क्वार्टर में दैट कंट्रीब्यूट अराउंड मोर देन 50 करोड़.
So can I ask you in very simple terms, like I wouldn't have all the details, आपको ज्यादा पता है, तो मान लीजिए इस साल अगर हमने 465 करोड़ का एबिटा किया है FY23 में, what should we expect in FY24?
See, we are looking forward that जो हमारी growth pace थी till FY22, if you see, we are doing the revenue growth of somewhere around 17-18% on that basis overall, and EBITDA growth was somewhere around 13 to 14% every year. आप last 5 years का उठा के देखिएगा तो आपको डेटा दिखेगा. That's we are going to continue in FY24.
So more like 13-14% EBITDA growth.
That's right.
And 13-14% EBITDA growth. Okay, just a moment. And then I wanted to ask you, is there like, so when you say you are going to spend 450-500 crores, it is like acquiring other small cable TV operators, or how where is this money going to go outside of broadband? That is.
You're talking on the broadband or CATV?
Outside of broadband, CATV.
You're talking about CATV. See, CATV, you have to understand the market right now. You have to do 2 type of capex investment. One is to maintain your subscriber base, and second is to gain new subscriber base. Maintain is because the churn rate, which is going on in the industry, which is around 15 to 16%. So if we talk about right now, I'm at 9 million. 15 to 16% of 9 million, which is like 1.4 to 1.5 million subscriber base, which I have to gain just to maintain my subscriber base and my revenue. And then I have to invest much more to have a net subscriber base positive, so that I can gain more revenues and more EBITDA. So that's the cycle on which every consumer, you can say direct consumer activity is happening, where the subscribers are. We talk about telecom, we talk about DTH, wherever it is there is a churn there. And to maintain that churn, you have to make some capex additions, plus you have to do more capex to bring more revenues and EBITDA. So that cycle will continue over here also.
Understood. So basically, when we say churn 15%, and we give the subscriber a set-top box and we incur other costs for his activation. So if every year there is a churn of 15%, that means that, I mean, it is a huge cost which is not recovered. And then we will keep having these surprise increased depreciation or write-offs.
No, we are recovering the boxes. We are redeploying some of the boxes. But yes, you're right. You can't recover the 100%. It depends that whatever we are recovering, whether it is useful or not. We are doing the repairing also, putting the boxes, refurbished box into the market also. But yes, that is not coming 100% that you recover around 50% or 55% boxes, and then you do that whatever repair or some refurbished you can do and put into the market. That goes back to 30% only.
It depends on the what is exactly retrieval cost is there. And we are collecting 500 rupees activation and box cost is 800 rupees. So if let's say because of 300 rupees it will go for recover and अगर 300 रुपए का ही recovery cost है, so we'll decide whether it is we want to recover or not.
So those factors work here because when you are doing the recovery, you have to do some recovery cost, whether going for that or whether you should go for the new boxes straight away, which is going to fetch you 400, 500 from the market, and whether you want to do recover those boxes which is in the remote areas and all. All those factors work on that. But yes, so the stock is lesser in the market and you have to do fresh capex on those.
So we are very aggressive.
Sorry, and the second thing, Karan, because some places there's a strategic decision because in earlier the NTO in DAS 1 and 2 implemented in 2012 and 2014, and because of that time the technology was MPEG 2. So it's a policy decisions companies already taken, will not further put MPEG 2 box. So that box is a completely absolute market से हम लोग उसको retrieval भी नहीं करते because we are completely right now the 95% business we migrated in MPEG 4 box.
Okay, and this year there is no dividend and we cannot do a buyback.
No, we have declared rupees 4 as dividend. I think Mr. Jadeja has opening remarks.
It was interim or final?
It's a final one, rupees 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Subject to shareholder approvals and all, but yeah, board has recommended for rupees 4, 40%.
Okay. And one more thing I wanted to ask you, Mr. Jadeja, is basically we are at 75% already the promoters between the two. And the stock valuation seems pretty interesting, close to book value to trade kar raha hai, despite your 5-year ROE being 16%. And maybe rightly so, maybe there are concerns. Is there any way we can do something about, a proportionate buyback or something like that? I mean, sorry, it won't help. Basically, I'm wondering what could the management do about the stock price? The numbers are not supporting, valuations are.
These are promoters' call, strategic call, because as a company we can't comment on these things. This has to be taken at the strategic level with the promoters and then to the board that what we should do and all. So can't comment on this subject here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, you may please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah, namaskar, sir, and thank you for this opportunity. Sir, you mentioned about the capex of 460 crore for FY23, sir?
468 crores.
So, sir, out of this, it entirely is this operational capex only, or how should one look at this spending? What goes into technological upgradation and what goes into capacity augmentation? If we look at capex, the format has to be into capacity augmentation that will lead to further revenue going ahead. And how much is going towards the operational capex, which is needed to maintain, to run the entire system. So if you could give that split up.
Yeah, so if I come to first on the broadband side, we did 225 crore of capex on that. If I talk about, we did around 550K of home passes on that, which is the capex we have put around 22 crores just making into the home pass. Plus, there is around 30 crore which we did in the technology side, technology enhancements in the back end and all. The rest has gone for the customer acquisition cost in the broadband side. Same in the cable. Well, I will say that as Anubhai is saying that we are going from MPEG 2 to MPEG 4. Those side, the technology enhancement and side, we have did around 25 crore of capex on that side. Plus on the enhancement for our head end and technology side, we did around 20 crores of capex on that side. The rest has gone into the business side.
Sir, when we look at the capex part of companies, wherever companies spend जब पैसा invest करते हैं, तो वो additional revenue generate करता है going ahead. That is the order of what capex is defined. So in our case, some capex goes towards the modernization, towards retaining of the client. So when we are spending that money, what is the ballpark we work around कि इतना customer acquisition होगा या ये market share हम grab करेंगे? If you could give us the color on the same, what are going to be the customer counts going ahead for the money that we have spent, and thereby जो हमारा payback रहेगा उसमें वो क्या time frame रखते हैं?
See, cable side में जहाँ पे हम कर रहे हैं to maintain our subscriber base and all, because we are recovering some boxes, we are putting it into the market also. So that is around out of the total, that is around 50 to 60 crore which is going into the maintaining the subscriber base and all. The rest is going in increasing our subscriber base and plus the technology enhancements, and as we go into the new market, you have to do some of the capex, network capex and all. So that's the way we are doing it in the cable side. In the broadband side, as you will see that to maintain, or you can say because the churn there is around 20 to 22% in the broadband side. So there you have to do somewhere around 70 to 80 crores in maintaining the business and rest in enhancing the business, and plus making the home passes, plus doing the technological upgradation and all, which is going to give us generate more and more subscriber base and revenue.
So when we look at the profile for both cable TV and broadband going ahead, it is going to be, my basic understanding is that broadband is going to be the clean winner going ahead, and everything would be clubbed under that, whether it is television, networking, internet would be the key. So going ahead, how do you, what are you visualizing in terms of this cable TV business contribution? Since over the last 3 years we have seen the revenue shifting towards broadband. So how likely is going to be the mix going ahead, and the customer preference with the laying of optic fiber cables and the internet penetration going ahead? How good the number would be, sir, in terms of the split between the cable and the broadband mix? And I think so broadband would be contributing to the bottom line also in a significantly higher EBITDA number than what cable TV is.
See, last 6 years you will see what the capex we did. Last 6 years I'm talking about. You will find that we did around 60 to 63% around in the broadband side. Only 37% has gone into the cable side. The cable side, your capex has started increasing from last year, when the churn has also increased, and we have to increase for maintaining our subscriber base around 50 to 60 crores more we have to spend on the cable side. So that is the case. Otherwise, yes, whatever the benefits, or you can say the capex which we have put in the broadband side, and we made around jump of around 3.8x in the subscriber base in the broadband. The pace is much higher than what we did, and 2x in in the cable side. So yes, broadband has gone up, and that is one of the reasons that we wanted not only dependent on the cable, which you are seeing that in the segment result and all, that broadband has also started contributing a significant part, and the business is not only dependent on one business, and that's the purpose, that both the business do good and start contributing towards the whole consolidated results, and that's happening, and that's a good sign for us. Continuing business, if we talk about, we are as a management and as an industry and all, we are seeing that cable is not going anywhere. It is going to be there. It's going to generate whatever cash we are generating and going to grow from here only. As you see that still there's non-TV households, which is going to be there. The consolidation of whole cable industry is still open, as 80 million subscriber base, and only all the organized player have just around 40 million right now subscriber base in their fold. So 45 million subscriber base is lying there, which is there. But yes, you can say that we have to combine the business, broadband plus entertainment plus OTT plus more services together, as we considered ourselves as a pipe which we have the access to the home through that pipe, and we have to increase our services in such a way that in consolidated way, whatever need is there in the households, we can provide that. But yeah, we are looking forward that both business are going to do good in the future. Yes, we have to combine those businesses together, combine those offerings, make it more lucrative for the customer, increase our services. Right now it is cable, OTT plus broadband, increase more of our services which we can provide to the households, and start providing all type of needs, satisfy all type of needs of the customers.
So only a small point. In your opening remark also you mentioned about a percentage of conversion to FTTH. So when that conversion is totally skewed towards the broadband part of the story only, the fiber to home part is, you are referring to the broadband conversion only from cable to broadband aspect. Is that understanding correct?
No, not cable to broadband.
So earlier the technology was lane, metro Ethernet. पूरा हम उसको अभी GPON में migrate, almost today 90% business is almost migrated to in a GPON technology.
So on home pass basis, if I talk about, around 75% of our home pass is already in the FTTX, and 25% is in the lane, which we are converting, and every year we are converting those. So we are looking forward that we will become 100% FTTX in coming years. So it is from MEN technology, which was LAN technology, to FTTH, direct to home technology.
Sir, in your presentation, slide number 4, you mentioned about O&M contract of 17,000 kilometer of optical fiber for BharatNet. Could you please explain, sir, what are you conveying in the?
Yeah, that is for showing our capabilities. This network, this project is already got over last financial year, which I talked about the EPC project, which we got for around 11,1072 crores for laying the 17,000 kilometer fiber for the GFGNL, the broadband ready fiber. So that's the project which we did, and we completed that. Yes, we have the capability of doing this type of big projects, and we are looking forward as government is coming up with new tenders and all for every state. We are looking forward that we will participate in more type of this project.
So out from this O&M contract, when will the revenue start trickling in, sir? What is the period from this, and what would be the annual revenue we will be gathering? If you could explain the nature of the contract, sir.
See, the contract is which we won at that point of time is 1072 of EPC project plus 57 crore for 4 years, 57 crore of O&M, operation and maintenance of these networks. The operation and maintenance of network has started in FY23, and those revenues are showing in other operating income.
So actually, technically, it's a 4 plus 3.
So 4 extendable to 7 years. 4 years, extendable to 7 years. And revenue has started in this financial year.
This financial year. So we will be booking revenue of 57 crore. Will not be incurring any cost on the same. This will directly go to the bottom line.
We are incurring the cost and making the margin of around 25%, 23 to 24% of that.
Sir, barring this restatement on account of depreciation and also in terms of, if I say the below the line item of exceptional item, when can we restore back to this 23-24% EBITDA margin, sir? And also, sir, if you could give us some more color on this exceptional line item, sir, of the sundry debtors written off, sir. What was the period for which this money was lying on the debtors, the aging part, and of the total receivable today, have we done the stress test for the same? I think the trade receivable on a consolidated basis is around 292 crores currently. So are we done with everything? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So first, yes, we are done with everything. First thing. Second, as you talk about the provision for doubtful debt, that is amounting to 180 million, which is from certain identified receivables. As you know that Deloitte is our new auditor, and being the first year, they have advised on conservative accounting, and they have identified some of the parties where with the management discussions and all, the recoverability of outstanding is a bit doubtful. So they have advised for taking provisions in books. If the company is able to collect the outstanding amounts, it will reflect in our revenues in coming year. But yes, as Deloitte is now our auditor from this year, they have gone for extra conservative on that way. They have discussed all outstandings with the management, and wherever they find that there is a bit of, they advise us to take the provisions in the books. And the outstandings were around 1 year old, or 1 year, 3 months, something old, but they have advised us to take this on the books. If you are able to recover it, it will come back into the revenues.
And out of this 15 crores, sir, number of parties affected? From how many people it was due, sir?
6 parties are there.
6 parties are there. And we are doing business with them currently?
Yes, we are doing the business with currently, and we are hopeful that we are going to recover those things. But,
okay, so out of this 292 crore receivables, we are still owning money. They are still owning money to us. 292 जो अभी हम 31 मार्च को क्लोज कर रहे हैं, वो
not right now. After doing the provisions, they are at zero.
Okay.
If we are going to able to recover those, then that will come as a revenue to us.
So is it any disputed amount, sir? Is there any dispute on that figure, or how, or what is the nature of this receivable then?
Not disputed, but yes, outstandings are there from those parties. They are always asking us for the time, being the amount of this large for them. And till date, we are giving them time to pay us on those. Right now, as you know, the amendment in tariff order has come, and we are implementing that. Somewhere that has also given the idea to our auditor that as it is it will become more difficult for them to pay us. So they have asked us to take the conservative accounting in the provisions, and they are saying that if you are able to collect, then it will come back as a revenue.
Okay, sir. And then coming back to our historical money. Yes, sir. Yeah. My one question is left unanswered. If I could answer, when we can return to our historical margin, that above 20% margin, when can we expect that and come this?
you have to understand that the margins which we are looking at right now, you have to look at net pay channel, the trend on that. If you see on the net pay channel, which is your pay channel expenses minus marketing and placement revenues, if you look into that, we are at this almost at the same margin. Here, what is happening that my placement and marketing is increasing, and my pay channel cost is also increasing in the same ratio. So placement and marketing revenue is not contributing towards the EBITDA, and there our EBITDA margin is going down on the margin side. So when you look at the net pay channel cost, then you will see that our margin is almost maintained.
Sir, I'll join the queue. Two more questions, but I will obey, sir. I will join the queue.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to address questions from all participants in the conference, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. The next question is from the line of Rikesh Parekh from Rockstud Capital LLP. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. So I just wanted to understand on our cable TV business. We have been number 1 in Gujarat and number 2 in West Bengal, and right now we are expanding in 6 more cities. So want to understand what is our medium-term plan over there over next 2 to 3 years, where we are expanding, and what is the size we are looking at, and are the margins same, or we are spending more to acquire the customer in those areas?
As I always say, that our endeavor is, or our target is that in next 3 years we are going to add 1 million subscriber base every year on that basis in the cable side, and that remains to us. Yes, we are going into the new market, but we are keeping our economy in such a way that it is not going to affect our EBITDA. So the margins and all are at the same level, and we are seeing that it should not affect EBITDA in the going forward. Yes, when you go into a totally Brazil market, at that point of time you have to do some of the admin expenses and all. But as you get established within a quarter's time, you start making the margins at the same level which we are making at the cable side.
Okay. And looking at the broadband side, I can see the incremental profitability is much higher, and we are able to get roughly 10 rupees ARPU increase YOY basis as such. So can be it safe to assume that the incremental contribution on the EBITDA side that will keep on increasing going forward?
Yes. That's the strategy on which we are working. That company is going to have 50% EBITDA from cable side and 50% EBITDA from the broadband side. So yes, we are working towards that, and the pace of growth is going to be more in the broadband side.
The last thing, so I missed out in the beginning. Just a thought process on this GTPL Genie means what is our game plan and how will it show us apart as such on this platform?
See, Genie we have launched as a B2C product right now, off-the-shelf product, which is doing good right now. Somewhere the game plan is to give a bundled product to the consumer, where he can have cable plus OTT, we can have broadband plus OTT, he can have all 3 together plus more services and all. So that's the plan on which we are working towards, which I said that how you can bundle and how you can provide all type of services plus more new services, adding more services on those to the consumer. So that's the plan on which we are going ahead. Yes, the margins are healthy on the OTT side also, and we are looking forward that as we go forward, those margins are also going to contribute in our business.
Sorry. And last question I just missed out. This NTO 3, how do you see it impact us and on the cable side, because incrementally we are losing out to the internet side. So your thought on that, and will it help us increase our margin also, means revenue per subscriber?
See, NTO3, I will say it is good for everyone, every stakeholder and all. We are looking forward more transparency in the market on that basis. And yes, it is going to be healthy for us for the DPOs. We are looking forward that as the NTO1, as we got the benefits, we are going to get the benefits in NTO2 also.
Okay, thanks. That's it from me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ketan Athavale from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, so please go ahead.
Sir, I just wanted to know on this depreciation which has increased. So will it persist, and what will be the run rate going ahead?
So basically depreciations जो additional depreciation लिया है, because earlier we were in a lane technology and we migrated completely our network in a GPON. So we going forward will not deploy that again lane technology. So उसी की पर्पस से जो पुराने CPs जो lane के थे हमने उसको completely पूरा because we don't want to redeploy in the market because we are completely migrating to the GPON format. So उसी की base पे हमने उसको depreciate कर दिया. Yes, यहाँ पे उनका as per the depreciation policy वो कैप्चर नहीं हो रहा था, लेकिन डाउन द लाइन नीचे हमें उसको रीडिप्लॉय नहीं करने जा रहे लेन टेक्नोलॉजी को. तो उसी जैसे हमने बताया कि हम अपने कंप्लीटली ब्रॉडबैंड के एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स को मेट्रो इथरनेट से लेन में कन्वर्ट जा रहे हैं. तो लास्ट 3 साल से हमारी एक्सरसाइज कन्वर्जन की चल रही थी. ऑलमोस्ट टुडे वी रीच्ड ऑलमोस्ट 90% माइग्रेशन इज कंप्लीटेड. सो पुराने जितने भी सीपी थे जो हम रीडिप्लॉयड करने नहीं जा रहे उसको हमने एडिशनल डेप्रिशिएट करके उसको डाल दिया.
Okay. And you said for EBITDA growth for FY24 13 to 14%. So how is it revenue growth looking for 2 years and EBITDA outlook in 25?
So if you see our old CAGR, we were doing around 18 to 19% of revenue growth and 13 to 14% of EBITDA growth. We are looking forward that we will, from FY24, we are going to maintain those CAGRs.
Okay. And just one last question. In both of our business individually, what will be the ROE, steady state ROE?
ROE is, you can calculate it from the balance sheet. We are going to give the annual balance sheet this time because investment in cable and you can say broadband is different. So straightway giving the ROE is it possible to give the ROE right now?
Just in steady state over long term, what it can be according to you?
Return on equity, if you talk about I'll come back to you on that because what is the return of going on right now and how it is going to shape on those.
Okay, sure. We can take that offline. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Gunit Singh from CCIPL. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. So, especially at these valuations, the company looks like a very promising prospect. Just like another speaker mentioned about doing a buyback. But and I heard about the discussions that we had regarding the capex about 450 CR annually. But one thing that I wasn't able to understand was that the returns are we expecting on this capex. So, for example, if we are spending 400 or 450 crores annually, and like you mentioned about 50 to 80 crores or 150 crores, including both broadband and cable, are going for maintenance and technology enhancements, and the rest is going for acquiring new customers, basically. So, I mean, if we are spending 450 CR annually, just a simple question. If we're spending 1 CR annual, 1 CR, how much asset turn do we expect on it? So, for example, we are spending 450 CR annually. Can we say that we can expect, say, about 1.5 times, like 600 CR additional revenue, or what kind of additional revenue do we expect? Because 400 CR this year and about 1600 CR you mentioned for the coming 3 years. So the figure goes down to about 2000 CR. So can we reasonably say that after 3 years we can expect an additional revenue of, say, 3000 CR or 4000 CR? I mean, that's just a simple question from my end, and that's the only thing that.
When you are doing the capex, the assets, the asset is there for the long term, which is like 8 years to 10 years, and you have to see the return on those 8 to 10 years. So first year, if you talk about right now, our ROA is going at around 16%. We are looking forward that return on assets at 16 to 17% has to be maintained in the organization, because when you look at the return on assets, you look at it the longer time, because assets is for the over the years. So you can't say that 4,500 crore if I did, then my incremental revenue has to be 500 or 600 crores. It has to be in such a reasonable way that, you get your ROA return on those assets which you are employing and the full assets on the whole side at 16 to 17%, which is maintained right now. And we are looking forward that with the time it is maintained or increased from it.
All right. So, so we are basically planning to maintain a revenue growth of 18 to 19%, like you mentioned, for the coming 4 to 5 years, we can say.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yash Sarda from Sushil Finance. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. So I can see in the internet service business, the average earnings per user has been decreasing since the past 2 quarters, though our number of active paying users are increasing. So could you just give us a guidance as to going forward in the next 1-2 years, any number of the numbers which will be stabilizing, or do we see a growth happening? That's it.
Yes. Can you? Your voice was cracking in the first sentence. Can you repeat that? The first sentence.
My question is pertaining to the broadband business. So, number of active paying users have been increasing since the past 2 quarters, but the earnings per user, which is coming down, has been on the down trend. In Q3, it decreased by 5%, and this year there was a loss. So, what would be the earnings per user where we will be having a steady state growth for the next 1.5 years, and how many customers do we plan on adding for the next 2 years?
Yeah, so as I said that we are looking forward that in next 3 years from 920K, 900K, we are looking forward that we are going to increase somewhere around 40% to 50% of our subscriber base in next 3 years. That is the target which we have taken. The second thing is that you're talking about margin per user. Margin per user, if you see, we have overall way we have maintained that. It's hardly 5 rupees here and there. And we are looking forward that those margin which is around 40% of our ARPU is going to maintain in the coming years also. As we are working towards the enhancement of our technology and all in such a way that on the same small incremental cost we are going to be able to serve more and more customers, which we are going to cross 1 million very soon. And the margin of 40% which should be maintained on those.
Okay. And just a follow-up question. When the average data consumption increases, so how much is the unit economics which we are benefiting? Because I think there has been a significant increase in the data consumption in the past 1 year, and which is going to increase coming forward as well.
Yeah, that's one of the direct costs, which I will say that as I say that we are doing the technology enhancements and all in such a way that we are able to manage those data through different technology, peering, caching and all in such a way that our margin remains the same. So that's the technology enhancements, network management, you can say how you rearrange your network in such a way by investing small amounts so that you save on those increasing of the bandwidth. So because that is one of the technology enhancement which we have to do, because as you see data from last 2 years it has increased tremendously, but still we are maintaining our margin and that is not pouring into our cost, and that's what we are doing, and we are confident that we are continue to do so.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rama Manohar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have a question that you said that EBITDA will increase 13%. So is it on what we have achieved some 500 crores, or it is FY21 numbers, FY22 numbers, like what is 567 crores? So, and also this is net profit margin. See, the profit after 3 years after spending some around 1,000 crores capex, profit remains same, whereas revenue increase, maybe profit is 40%, 70 or 80 crores. We have moved to like 120.
Manohar, I will just say that as we say that we are going to be close to 600 crores of EBITDA, that's what we are trying to achieve in FY24, which we missed in FY23.
Okay, 600 crores will be the likely EBITDA you are targeting. What about the net profit margins, like depreciation? I am not sure whether you are increasing the depreciation, or it will be like 300 crores or 320 crores or 400 crores.
Come again, you are talking about which margin?
No, you said 600 crores. I am talking about net profit margins. And every quarter, depreciation now it is reached 100 crores. Is it 100 crores, or it is going to be just 80 crores again?
No, it is going to be 80 crores because this quarter you are seeing more because of the provision which we have made of 22 crore for the obsolescence of routers and other equipment, LAN routers and other equipments which we have taken as conservative accounting.
So that's I got that. And one more thing, that last call you said that rate of return, rate of investment you will get back in 18 months. Now it is already we have spent around during last 3 years 800 to 1,000 crores with the capex is done. Of course, some is maintenance capex. Still, after spending so much amount, our EBITDA remains same. So I think we are missing something.
And if I go and bring new customer in the cable TV, the return comes between you can say 15 to 18 months straight away. Yes, as I say that we are investing around 50 to 60 crores in the capex to maintain our subscriber base. Those 50 to 60 crore is not giving me any return right now from last 2 years. Okay, rest of the assets are giving a return at the higher rate, and that's why I am able to maintain my ROA at 16%. So rest of the assets which I am deploying is giving us around 22%, 23% return. This 50-60 crore is not giving me any return. In average, I am coming to around 16% of ROA. So that's the equation. It is this.
Sir, we are not able to increase RPO, cable RPO, or is going to increase. What about this? April 1st, you said that I read some newspapers. Even last con call, you said that you will take a call on RPO increase.
Yes, already we are implementing the NTO3. We have started the whole thing from 15th of April, and already the revised rates and packages have gone into the market. You can find it out in the market. So that's already we are implementing in Q3.
I think, that is my concern because see, when you telecom players, mobile players, every family, I think their ARPU went up by 100 rupees at least. If you say 2 or 3 phones are there, whereas here, GTPL is struggling to increase even 10 or 20 rupees ARPU. I think that is one anomaly. And then how, because that is, I think, the business, because we have a competition from 3D and OTT, whatever it is. And then even the Tata Sky, it is a Tata Play, they are entering the broadband and security business because I feel cable TV business may go out of the market in 3-4 years or 5 years.
So I'll come on that. First on the increase, yes. Increase, you can say, revised prices and packages are already in the market from 15th of April from the morning, and we are looking forward that as MG1 helps us in the whole thing, and Q3 will also going to help us. First thing. Second, your assessment on cable TV that it will be obsolete in 3 to 4 years, we don't agree. Cable TV is going to be there and going to go the growth. That's the belief of the management. Yes, the bundling of the product, which I have already talked about, that you have to bundle. We are also in the broadband. We are also doing the OTT. We are doing the entertainment in the cable. We have to bundle that. We have to. I have also talked about. We have to introduce more services, which is the requirement of the customer, which already a lot of things we are rolling also, and you will come to know this year. So it's going to be not only 3 bundle services, more bundle services, which to satisfy every need of the customer. As we say that we look ourselves as a pipe, which has the access to the households, and that's the strategy on which we are working, and we look forward to launch all those things in this FY24.
Last one or two additional questions, like increasing the ARPU will result in increase in margin or just to offset pay channel costs?
Yes, it is. If the ARPU is getting increased, the margin will increase.
But not sure to what extent our net profit margins will increase, right?
Again, the next quarter will come. We will talk more about this in the next quarter.
Okay.
We will start seeing some of the results on the next quarter.
One last question that you said that, see, I want my company to focus more on broadband. Okay, now you are saying that broadband, I think our 9 lakh customers, you are aiming for about 40-50% growth. I think that took us for next 3 years, right?
Yes.
Don't you think it is a small increase because that is happening place? And then this year, I think we did very bad. I think only, of course, cable TV company did good. Whereas coming to broadband, it is just 25K every quarter. And last 2 quarters, you said there is a customer, B2B customer, 70K something. And that also did not happen this quarter. So what is that clearly aiming for next 1 year broadband? Because I think there is a more scope for increasing the business. You can convert from cable TV to broadband. So can you clarify?
The broadband side, if you see everywhere, you talk about the competitions and everyone, the growth which we are doing is at the same level of growth which other companies are doing right now. We are better than some of the companies. So that growth is going to maintain and that's going to enhance as we go forward. The B2B side of the business, yes, you're right that we are, because of some technology here and there and mismatch and others, we are not able to do significant things in Q4, which we were expecting. And that is one of the reasons that you are seeing our EBITDA a bit down because that contribution has not come in FY23. But we are hopeful that FY24 we are going to get the B2B subscribers. The whatever projections I have given you on next 3 years is just for the B2C. I have not included the B2B projections of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor Company. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. A very small point, sir. You mentioned we will be going back to the EBITDA number closer to 600 for FY24. This is what correct, sir?
Yeah.
Around. So we were in the vicinity of 555, 560 crore for FY22, and that if we keep that as a base, this being an anomaly year because of the non-cash item, we will be we will have a growth of 10%.
Yes, you're right on that way, because the main reason is on that 550 crore around, if we're talking about FY22, around 70 crores of revenue, 75 crore revenue was of activation revenue, which was more of like a deferred non-cash revenue. That's why I said that activation revenue is a non-cash. It is not affecting our cash generation capability and all. But it was contributing in the EBITDA, which has gone away. So if you take away that, it is like from 480, I'm talking about 600. So it's more of like in the 2 years' time, around 22 to 23, 24% jump, which is more of what we are talking about our CAGR.
So could you please explain this activation revenue part of the deferred part? I didn't get it correctly. What is the nature of the same, and why would it appeared earlier and will not be a repeat item?
Yeah, activation revenue is more of which at the time of DAS, when we are deploying our STBs first time in the market, we collected it from the customers.
Right.
Like 700 rupees, 800 rupees, 1,000 rupees for the boxes, which has got deferred for 5 years. So if you see the whole phase 4, which has happened from 2017, 2018 until 2019 mid, you can say, those revenues of deferred revenues were appearing in our books because of in India, you have to do the deferred for 5 years of those revenues. So those revenues which we have generated the cash on those years is part of the P&L which is going away now.
So earlier, अगर आप देखें तो DAS implemented in India 2012 phase 1, 2002 phase 2 is 2013, and phase 4 it is up to 2017. So पूरे India में is more than almost 150 million set-top box implement हुए थे. Whereas let's say take example like GTPL itself is almost 10 million customers को हमने implement किया था. अगर उसका आप 500 rupees से भी activation revenue गिनेंगे तो almost 500 crore activation वो 2-2.5 साल में आया हुआ था, जो 5 साल में डिफर होके अभी धीरे धीरे वो खत्म हो रहा है.
Phase 3 was 2017, but it was extended till 2019 somewhere. 2018 end.
तो अब ये एक्टिवेशन वाला पार्ट नहीं रहेगा हमारे रेवेन्यू में. This is what this has got.
That's not going to be part. That is going to be very small amount, very small amount of that which is remaining now.
सर ये जो अपने 4 नंबर पॉइंट स्लाइड पर देते हैं नेटवर्क एंड इंफ्रा का 97,000 किलोमीटर ऑफ ऑप्टिक फाइबर एंड ऑल, तो ये क्या हमारा IPv1 एसेट की तरह है कि वी विल बी अर्निंग एन्युटी ऑन द सेम, or this is what the infrastructure we have laid out and we have booked the revenue and the profit on the same? Are these IPv1 type assets?
You are talking about GFGNL? That's EPC project?
No, sir. I am talking about our slide number 4, wherein we have mentioned about our network and infra of 97,000 kilometers of optic fiber, and we have done work for BharatNet project for joining, connecting 3,700 gram panchayat, and then the OM part. So are these clubbed under the IPv1 asset? Are these infrastructure assets?
This is my own. This is my own 97,000 kilometers, which is I own it in different parts of the country, where I put in my own optical fiber.
This is not GSGNL. This is not owned. That's owned by government.
That is owned by government.
No, sir. Are these
which I have created the assets in last
So
15-16 years.
Correct, sir. So are these the IPv1 asset, the infrastructure assets, wherein you will earn an annuity on the same, just like Vindhya TV and other players do? The licensed infrastructure provider category?
No. It is not like that. I can lease these to different parties.
But this is more on my B2B customers and for B2C customers.
That's right.
Okay. And in your presentation, sir, one point was mentioned about this broad peaking video streaming solution. I'm looking where on which slide it was mentioned. So if you could give us some more color, what are you conveying by this, and what is the differentiation, and how would this contribute to the revenue part?
So this is it's a broad peak, it's a technology solution, whereas it's a CDN technology solution, where you can deliver your content very easy way and very smooth way. So next time, if you want this in detailed technology side, I'll ask my CTO, he'll give you a brief guidelines.
Okay, sir. And last point on the out of the employee cost, sir, what is the payment to the KMP? How much have been, is there a fixed cost or also a performance bonus that is being paid under the employee benefit expenses?
On the KMP side, yes, around 15% of salary is on the bonus side. On the performance base, 85% is the fixed.
Okay, so out of this 145 crore, what is the contribution to the KMP on an annual basis?
I think it's offline.
We can take it offline because.
ठीक है सर, नहीं तो next quarter में बता दीजिए.
So we can take it offline.
हाँ sir, I will get in touch. Right sir, and lastly a small point on with smart TVs now being the order of the day, and they are getting bundled up with our mobile phones and the internet getting more Wi-Fi to it. So how do you think that advent and more technological advancement in terms of smart TVs taking foray? How are you think this cable business will survive and will get thrust? मैंने आप जैसे comment कर रहे हैं कि cable business is going to will have growth going ahead, but now with smart TVs coming into it, ये principally उसको क्या disturb नहीं करेगा?
नहीं, so basically देखिए, मैं इसको आप down the line check करिए whether it is smart TV with Android or with it iOS. आप आगे देखेंगे GTPL is also doing understanding with a lot of television vendors. Will come to know in Q1 or Q2 काफी जगह पे हमने उनके एसोसिएशन किए हुए, जहाँ पे आप आगे जाके जैसे आपको स्क्रीन पे स्मार्ट टीवी में OTT एप्लीकेशन दिख रही है, कहीं आगे जा आपको वहाँ पे GTPL लाइव टीवी भी जाके दिखेगा, बट उसका टेक्नोलॉजी साइड अपग्रेडेशन चल रहा है. We'll let you know in coming either Q2 or Q3.
So that is one part. The second part is as more and more smart TV will come, we are happy because people are more moving towards the HD side. So the quality of HD or 4K, which all those things, is going to give us the boost on our side. Because the HD quality, if you don't have very high broadband connections and all, it is always be a trouble. In our case, HD quality is it is very easily delivered on the smart TV and all, and that is going to give us more chance to do the marketing to those guys.
Sir, just to summarize, it is going to be good customer experience going ahead. You are putting up technological upgradation, client acquisition, but अगर घूम फिर के अपने इन्वेस्टर्स के प्रति आए तो हमारे पास बहुत सारे बॉटलनेक्स हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ वैल्यूएशन. तो वैल्यूएशन कैसे इम्प्रूव होगी सर जब 73-74% इज विद द प्रमोटर, डिविडेंड पे आउट भी आपके पास एक सीमा है पे आउट करने की, एंड दैट टैक्स इंसिडेंस ऑन dividend is also very high. That is both for the promoter as well as for the non-promoter entity. So how is the valuation going to improve, and how are investors in the long run going to benefit from the type of capex and the money आप spend कर रहे हैं? Definitely it will create the infrastructure. You are going to provide customers the right experience at the right price. But how do you take a look after your investors, sir? इस पर क्या आपका थॉट प्रोसेस है सर? आपके पास लिमिटेड ऑप्शन ही हैं, बट क्या वर्किंग है कैसे प्रमोटर इसको देखते हैं now Reliance being in the fold with Jio. What's the message for us as minority shareholders?
See, as a management of GTPL Hathway, if you see whatever we have promised in the IPO time and throughout the years, we are fulfilling those in the business aspects, and we continue to do so. If you talk about the shareholding side, that how it is going to get impacted and how the valuation, because if we believe as a management the valuation should go up because we are doing good in the business, our you can say returns are increasing, everything is increasing, so we should have a good value on the whole, which we believe as a management. And but yes, restructuring, or you can say how the shareholders has to look into that. I will say we will take the advice of our investors only individually, that what we should do, so which we should recommend to our board, or which we should recommend to our shareholders, that what we should do so that the valuation should go up. So I will say that we will take the feedback from the investors individually and present it to our board and the shareholders on that way.
Yes, sir. And you should also engage firms that can get you, because if you look at the all-time high, it was around 300 rupees or 296 rupees. That was the stock price way back in October 21. And we are now down, I think, so if there is no corporate action taken, we are down to 100 rupees today. So on top of spending money, having no debt, there has to be the reason why market is not valuing the company. So that needs to be done. Yeah.
As a management, we are also concerned on that, that the prices are at the lower side and it is coming to down. But yes, we have to look that, see, as a management, we can do our business. On the business side, we can improve our things and all. Perception creation and speculations and what we can do in the market and all, it is we will like to have our investor to tell us or advise us so that we can present it to us.
Right. I won't harpen more on it, but you are the largest shareholder. So whatever value creation will happen will be top down only. So if that will be 3/4 for the promoter and the remaining 1/4 for minority shareholders. So whatever steps you will take, it will not only going to go for your minority shareholder, but it will come down top down from the promoter to the non-promoter. So kindly look into the aspects and the reasons wherein, or also the purpose of them remaining listed, sir, when value cannot be created for your investors. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Sure, we look forward to that, and we'll talk individually as.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
That as the company will do better and better, the share price will go better also. Okay.
Thank you, sir. All the best, sir.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
I would like to thank the participants for taking out time to join our earnings conference call. We look forward to having continuous engagement with all the market participants. For any queries, please feel free to connect with Orient Capital, which is our IR advisors. Thanks, and have a good evening.
Thank you. On behalf of Emkay Global Financial Services, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.